second upload for today is another aspect of hate crime that is important to mention as well. Um, as I've said, every right in the Declaration of Human Rights has been completely violated in this vendetta being perpetrated against me in Tralee, County Kerry. As I've already stated, these individuals are yet again, um, you know, up to no good. Um, and what they did over a decade ago was pretty bad, but on this occasion it's pretty worse, simply because of the issues and violations against children's rights and human rights and marital rights and legal rights and medical rights, etc., etc., etc. So, as I've mentioned on my uploads, I live alone. Um, I've experienced harassment, defamation, against a collective group of people that have made a bad situation worse. In 2016, after I gave birth in 2015, there had been false claims, there had been defamatory claims and reports, unsubstantiated, that have been exacerbated. Um, the violations of privacy that I've mentioned and the unethical means of attaining information without consulting me or without engaging with me, and without living with me, um, is a serious offence as far as I'm concerned with regards to human rights. These people, as I've said, have not only claimed defamatory statements, these people um, wouldn't know me, wouldn't have worked with me, wouldn't have lived with me, but they have absolutely desecrated the Declaration of Human Rights. Um, the unethical means of attaining information is a very huge concern, um, for a person living alone, and even for business people, politicians, or whatever. Unethically attaining information that a person or group of people aren't, you know, entitled to attain or access, is a huge violation in this situation. The unethical means by which such people have attained private information with regard to my personal life, my career, etc., etc., they have just crossed over into, uncharted territory as far as I'm concerned, because basically the lies and the damage being caused with their information that they are abusing is, it's an offence. What is occurring? It's a very serious offence. There are people fault finding, against a person that they don't know but that they just don't like, simply because of my successes and my achievements. That's begrudgery. That's an old Irish trait, apparently, begrudgery. But for 2020 democracy and for women's achievements, to be disrespected and to be involved in the defamation of a professional woman simply due to their issues, which give me concern for their mental health and their threats to society with damaging family life, career, professional life, opportunities, personal research, etc., etc., spirituality, etc., 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 is a very big concern for any human rights agencies to be facilitating. At no cost whatsoever are such individuals ever to be entertained or facilitated, for that matter. These people that find pleasure or find success in trying to find fault with another person in their vendetta of hate crime, while their own actions and behaviours haven't been up to scratch, is quite serious. Because I'm quite sure I'd be able to find a lot of faults with the very same people that are trying to cause problems for me by withholding information from me, by broadcasting false messages, by creating bad publicity, by disrespecting my reputation, my good name, etc., etc., etc. There isn't anyone in this situation in any position to point the finger at anyone or to even, um, you know, because I'm pretty sure that I'd be able to point three or four fingers back at them as well with faults that they have perpetrated. So this is the nature of this situation. Fault finding, it's pretty sad as a member of the fellowship that people have difficulty understanding live and let live and mind your own side of the street. There are people in this vendetta of hate crime that have pretty much stalked me and harassed my rights. So this is what I've tolerated as a victim and survivor of these people's assault of my character and reputation and good name. They have misinformed people about the reality of the situation. They have abused the media with their false and fake news. And the messages involved in hate crime are all very worrying issues for future generations. So, this is what I'm confronted with, people violating the privacy of my personal life. When I think if I were to look into their personal life, it wouldn't be too flattering either. But these people that perpetrate these human rights offences obviously think they're above the law of the land, the law of nature, the law of spirituality, if you know, etc., etc. And all of those factors are relevant in this vendetta of hate crime and human rights violations I'm experiencing. The dirt that people are dredging up that aren't all that accurate, that they don't understand, that they haven't had personal experience of, um, is a pathetic attempt to cause further problems. The Ombudsman, as I've said, is aware of the offences that I've experienced since giving birth and being married in 2015. Um, 2006 onwards, I began my recovery from sexual assault and revenge porn, and the culprits that are perpetrating and that are responsible for this situation that is currently occurring um, are in no position as such to be intruding, to be thinking that they're in any position to abuse power or position or profession for their ill gotten gains and ill serving agendas. So basically, this matter of fault finding, violating privacy, avoiding what they owe, um, the compensation that I am due for the defamation of my character, reputation, and good name, as well as for the physical injuries that I've experienced, the losses in my profession as a teacher, um, the opportunities, professional opportunities that have been pillaged, the amount of compensation owed to Emer Griffin is absolutely astronomical. But there are ongoing offences that the Ombudsman and the authorities are fully aware of, and protection for victims is the priority in society while respecting my human rights. So the information being accessed unethically, the information that's being portrayed defamatorily, and the withholding of information that's involved in this situation as well is all relevant. So the people finding fault, I hope they know that there'd be plenty of faults to be found with them and their personal lives and experiences as well also. As I've said, this vendetta has cost great expense and trouble, and it's unfortunate that the intelligent individuals in this situation haven't found it more uh, rewarding to put their money where their mouth is and put their money to better use besides victimizing a law abiding citizen, that they have violated the spirituality and faith of the light body of Emer Griffin in Tralee, County Kerry, was absolutely disrespected and just scandalous what's happened. So, the issue of children's rights, is very prevalent for me as an educator, as a teacher. It's a big concern that there are mothers, professional mothers, that would ever facilitate the violation of children's rights that is involved also. So these matters of hate crime, human rights violations, also involve people accessing information unethically, disinforming and misinforming people, using publicity for the wrong means. As a student of, or as a graduate of culture and, sociology and media from the University of Limerick, I think we know the responsibility of the media. We know how the messages we receive need to be accurate and honest, and people employing the forms of media being used in this vendetta with fake news, fake messages, etc., etc., is very dangerous. So it's deceptive and it's disrespectful to the role of media professionals to be put in a position to compromise their professional ethics, morals, and standards to facilitate a vendetta such as this. So, this entire situation has many aspects involved to it. The one I'm mentioning in this is the uh, withholding of information, accessing information unethically, guilty culprits accessing information unethically, and fault finding. Um, as I've said, if we were to look into some culprits' pasts, it mightn't be too flattering what we discover. So it's also relevant as a member of the fellowship that people learn how to mind their own business. Disrupting a person's family life, like my family life has been disrupted, my career, etc., etc., is absolutely shocking. So, as I've mentioned, there's been defamatory claims about mental health. There has been individuals that have breached confidentiality with other professionals without involving me, without discussing it with me, or without consulting me. Um, these persons involved that have been nuisances to other professionals trying to implicate themselves with my personal matters, my personal experiences, and trying to imply issues of concern that are completely convoluted, that they would have no knowledge of and wouldn't be in a position to discuss, just shows how insane a situation has been caused. So that's as much as I'll say in this upload. Um, Fault finding that isn't flattering um, could easily be, directed at the individuals that are causing these problems. So I'll let it at that for now. That's the second upload for today, and there'll be another upload later as well.